Did someone ask for the
You will
Japanese name?
never become a higher life form, Nasset. Ever.
Boop.
How did a quirky little Japanese religious cult go from
Okay.
interesting to mass murderous? Well,
I'm
on my
interested.
podcast, The Mystery of Everything, I started going over interesting cults, and I came
Ooh,
across
been there.
Aum Shinrikiyo, which was a Japanese cult that carried out a devastating terrorist sarin gas attack. This
Oh
gas
my
attack was
God.
carried out in 1995. But in order to give a really full picture of exactly what happened that day, we need to get a clear picture of what this cult really was and developing an understanding of what their goals were. I'm Gabby. You can call me Not Gabby B, and let's jump into it. So to start off, Aum Shinrikyo
Not
means
Gabby
supreme
B.
truth, and it was a group that started in the 1980s, and their beliefs were based on a combination of Hindu and Buddhist beliefs. They later added a lot of the dire apocalyptic beliefs that can be found in Christianity. This group was founded by a man named Shoko Asahara. His real name was actually Chizo
Shoko.
Matsumoto,
That means hot chocolate
but he founded
in
the cult
Hebrew.
in 1984,
What?
and
Sorry,
it ended up
sorry,
gaining
sorry, what?
Shoko?
Yeah?
It's
You think this
It's how we
man's
say
name
hot
is Hot Chocolate?
no. It's how you say hot chocolate
You
in Hebrew.
think his parents are Jewish and they named him after hot chocolate? Is that what you're saying? Bambi?
No, I'm not saying I think. I'm saying I'm just giving a fun
do.
fact.
Oh.
No, I'm just Wiz, I need you to stop.
popularity through the doomsday belief set, along with
Ooh.
traditional religious teachings, as discussed above, and New Age tactics. And yes, while it may seem really strange that apocalyptic beliefs help with the cult's popularity, if you really think about the fact that the US nuked Japan just like a few years prior, it makes a lot more sense. Well, 40 years prior. But
They
yeah.
did what?
So coming off of the
America did what? Have you heard about this?
Rewind?
Listen to this.
if you really think about the fact that the US nuked Japan just like
Have you heard about that? Did you know that happened?
I really hope you're joking.
a few years prior, it makes a lot more sense. Well, 40 years prior, but yeah. So coming off of the relative recentness of that particular action, seeing the widespread destruction would give a little more worry.
Wait, did you just say a few years prior? Well, actually 40 years prior.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true. It was definitely fucking inspired by Hiroshima. Yeah, she's on something. Oh, this is already a great video.
Offense to the Japanese people. The cult was marketed using the fear tactic that the world was about to enter World War III and only the members of Aum Shinrikyo would survive. Interestingly
God.
enough, though, the cult
That's cool.
members of Aum Shinrikyo were highly educated. They consisted of scientists and engineers, which not only gave a lot of knowledge to the cult itself, but they also brought a lot of funding, which, you know, I've never
Nice.
been part of a cult, but I'm assuming money is important. So we know this because former members testify that they paid a lot of money for cult rituals, with some saying that they paid over $8,100 in 1988 for a
God.
blood initiation.
God.
And I think when I recorded this for the actual podcast,
Why do I keep
that was
getting
about
inspired blood today?
$20,000 in today's money.
I don't
So
know.
this blood
Like, this is
initiation
your
involved
Why
him
does this keep
drinking
happening to me?
Shoko Asahara's blood, and other members said that they
She's saying
paid large
Shoko.
sums for
And
They
his
drank
she
it?
poured something into a cup.
No, oh my god. She's saying they drank each other's blood.
Gross. I want Choco now.
You can't get past the fact the guy's name's Hot Chocolate.
Now I want hot chocolate.
hair and bathwater. So they made e-girl bathwater popular before it was ever a thing on the internet.
Fuck is
So the
e-
group gained
I don't
official
know.
status
I
as an
don't wanna
official
know.
religious organization in Japan in 1989, and they established a significant global following. Shoko
Ooh.
Asahara spoke at universities, he wrote books, and he had decently good reach for someone at that time. At Shinrikyo's peak, they had tens of thousands of members around the world, with many of these members
my
being
God.
students at prestigious universities. So they had
Prestigious.
connections everywhere, and you'll see how these come into play later. So how does a
Embo's drinking hot
doomsday
chocolate,
cult
Bambi.
comprised of
I
doctors,
fucking hate you,
engineers,
Embo.
and
Go. I can't say that, but
Why are you gonna say that per Embo?
nothing.
Oh my god, maybe you deserve to be stuck in your back for all of time with me as a ghost. Maybe that's your deserved
with
fate.
you for all of time.
Yeah, unless you can magically get back up.
No, staying on my back for all of time is fine. Staying with you for all of time?
Yeah, I haunt this place.
Oh my god. Get off of me, weirdo.
top students turn into a violent, terroristic cult. Well, Aum Shinrikiyo actually started getting deadly in November of 1989.
Oh
So
my
yes,
God.
November of the exact same year that they got recognized as an official religious organization. So the murder that they actually carried out was really disturbing. And guys, I'm not joking. If, gore and murder upset you, just fast forward
Maybe we
a
should
little bit.
fast forward
So
this bit.
at the time, people
Yeah.
had no idea that the cult was responsible for this particular murder. But after the sarin gas attacks, when a lot of the cult members got arrested in September of 1995, it came out that the cult was really responsible.
Whoa! Breaking news. Beep, 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 beep. Breaking news. I got a DM from J-Reg. He wants us to look at realism. I don't know what that is. Sulfur. What's realism? Realism. Beep, 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 beep.
Really?
Interrupting.
Did he send you a link?
No, I asked him what his favorite cults were.
Oh.
Sending it
You
forward.
really do simp for J-Reg, don't you?
Hey, he messaged me, bro.
So
Did
Tsutsumi
he?
Sakamoto was a 33-year-old
Don't
lawyer
believe
that was
that.
working with Aum Shinrikyo members that wanted to leave the cult. And in October of 1989, he was warned by a senior cult member named Kiyohide Hayakawa to back off. But I'm guessing he did not listen, because on November 4th, 1989, he and his wife Satoko, who's 29 years old, and their 1-year-old son Tatsuhiko were murdered. So cult members
Okay, I'm sorry. The
entered
way
their
she's
home while they were
pronouncing
asleep, and in
Japanese words sounds Arab.
What?
That's all I'm gonna say.
The way she's pronouncing Japanese words?
Yeah.
Arab? Oh my god. Sulfur's coming clutch. Space
Is Sulfur
Nazis?
sending? Oh my god.
Oh my god,
Space
I knew
Nazis, I've
Sulfur
heard
would
it.
know
Yes.
this. I knew Sulfur would know
Yes.
this. Nice. Thank you, Sulfur. Thank you, Sulfur.
injected them with lethal doses of potassium chloride and then strangled them. Their remains were not found until September of 1995 after the
Embo
deposition
put a
of the
picture of
cult
his hot
members.
chocolate and Wiz
Sakamoto's
watches.
remains
I
were found
saw.
in Adachi Town, Niigata Prefecture. His wife's remains were found in Uozu in Toyama Prefecture, and their infant son's remains were found in Omachi, Nagano Prefecture.
Ooh.
But yeah, basically the cult was terrible and they did incredibly terrible things. Also, prior to the 1995 sarin attack that this episode is really about, they were also responsible for another attack known as the Matsumoto sarin attack, which was an attempted
Wait.
assassination that occurred.
Did I just not get
What?
a donation notification? The bar went out. Did I miss that or did it just
Yeah.
not play? You
It
camel.
didn't play. Oh,
F slur.
thank
my
you,
God.
Anonymous.
Thank you,
whoever
Anonymous.
you are.
Thank you, Anonymous.
Thank you. Reveal yourself so I can send you kisses.
Yeah, send a little put a little kiss XOXO.
DM me telling me, hey, I donated.
Don't lie.
Don't DM me. Don't DM me.
in Nagano Prefecture on June 27th, 1994. In this particular attack, 8 people were killed and more than 500 people were harmed. And in this attack, it was carried out specifically to target judges that were expected to give an unfavorable ruling against the cult in a real estate dispute. Yeah,
Ooh.
they wanted to build like headquarters, but the people of Matsumoto were like, nope, you're not coming to our
How
town.
crazy is that? It's like oh, we want to make a little fucking club. We want to make a little fucking club for our cult. No, you're not allowed to. Okay, I guess we're just gonna kill all of you now.
We'll kill you.
We're just gonna kill all you now. Okay, it's over for you then. Oh, you thought no was an option? Okay, no to life. Bye.
You know what no means? Death.
Yeah. Oh, oops, wrong answer. Whoopsies.
And this is when they didn't even know they were a violent cult. This is when they were just a religious organization.
know?
And people were like, no.
The world?
So
The
the
world,
attack
the Japanese.
was obviously the
Or
answer.
the members?
And it was carried
No, I think they probably knew themselves that they were going to kill people. They're like, oh, I didn't know I was a
Maybe
violent
they
cult. I
didn't.
accidentally fucking killed.
What if it's
this
like
realtor.
UHS where they're like split brains? Oh my god, why
Well,
would
they've been doing fucking
Yeah.
brain. They've been sleeping with one eye open and their body's been getting numb.
Yeah.
And they're split brains.
What
or
if they
something.
didn't know
Dude,
until the very moment
imagine.
that they did it?
Imagine
And
you start a
then,
cult, you start doing UPS, where the hell it's called, and your brain splits, and then one half of your brain is in one cult, and the other half is in another cult.
Shut up. But what I mean, no one joins a cult thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna go kill people." Yay! I mean, maybe some people do, but as in, like, some people don't know that the cult is gonna be violent or do this shit until the very moment that they're told or like instructed to do this. Is what I mean.
Yeah. Wait, you think the lower level peoples? Probably. That's probably true.
Yeah.
But I think she was specifically talking about like the people that were selling them out. What's it called? One half DGG, one half pawn scum. I spit on you. I spit on you, clown.
Who the fuck? Yeah.
I spit on you, clown.
No. Bad comment. Bad
One half
comment.
pawn scum, other half pawn scum. But you like it for different reasons. Okay? That's
One
the
half
only
pawn
acceptable
scum,
answer.
Other half Bambi love.
Yeah, but you are pawn scum. One half Wiz, one half Bambi.
I'm a separate entity, and I sometimes am a part.
You're still
of
eating
pawn
breadsticks.
scum. Yeah, they're not breadsticks. They're like, wait, I'll send you a photo in DMs. So I
You
already
really
sent
put
you a
Wiz
photo in
watches?
DMs,
Hot chocolate and breadsticks, bro.
but if something else, and you did respond to me, that's so rude.
Wait. What's even worse? Wait. You feel like something's missing in your life? It's probably me. That's so cute. That's so cute.
This is what I keep sending him.
However, instead of releasing the siren in the courthouse like it was initially planned, the plan was changed to release it in a residential area where the
Whoa.
judges allegedly resided instead. Interestingly enough, at the time of the attack, the cult was not suspected, and it wasn't even until after the Tokyo attacks that Aum Shinrikiyo was investigated in relation to this siren attack. Now, remember earlier how I said a lot of the members were actually scientists and engineers, and how this would bring in not only knowledge, but also a lot of money? Well, the knowledge that was brought in was vast, and it was used mainly in producing nerve agents
Well,
and
Jesus
other types of
Christ.
deadly weapons. So this is where things get
God.
super weird and downright insane, because while the cult is famous, or should I say infamous, for the sarin gas
That's an
attack,
understatement.
there were far more things that they did or attempted to do. So
Okay.
in 1990, Asahara saw an opportunity for the group to capture power through normal electoral politics. They simply could get voted into power, which, go figure, that might be the easiest way. And in February that year, after establishing the Shinrito Party, Asahara and 24 other members ran in a House of Representatives election. But
Jesus.
maybe it was something about the whole doom and gloom aspect of them. But
There's something about like cult turning to political party. Have we seen that anywhere else recently? Bappy?
Yeah.
Where?
I said, did you not hear me?
Yeah, but where?
I'm not at liberty to say. I'm
that
scared
'cause
I'm
you
gonna
don't
be
know?
killed. No, I don't want to be a target.
From who?
You saw what the Shoko people did.
I don't know what you're talking about. I wouldn't name names.
I cannot.
Didn't really
I
appeal to
cannot
voters, and they
name names.
all lost, even after spending millions of dollars on the campaign.
Guys,
And
we're
the
halfway to
result,
saving
they
Bambi's
end up
life.
leading Asahara to decide on using violence as a means to capture state
I'm gonna
power
be saved
instead,
soon.
which really makes you think how different things would have been if they had just won power, but that may have been more dangerous because they'd be making decisions for everyone. Really, sama and Yim at that point. So in Asahara's
Imagine a
mind, the apocalypse was
cult,
coming, and only
like a
his
literal cult. And actually, no, never mind.
No,
Most
go
of the
on.
governments are.
Go
Yeah.
on.
I was like,
Continue.
imagine a cult as like a government leader in World War II, and I was like, wait. Never mind.
Interesting, huh? That'd be fucking crazy, wouldn't it?
That means I wonder how that would turn out.
That
you
probably
know?
would be bad. Good thing that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Good thing we avoided that. It didn't cause. It's
Yeah.
like
Nothing happened.
it's
in
almost like
World
your
War
life is
II.
everything that's happened in your life is a direct reaction to that happening. It's almost like that.
Wow. It's almost like I am in a country led by a cult
Oh.
leader. Wow.
Whoa, no
I
politics,
disavow
please.
what I
No
just
politics,
said.
please.
I don't condone anything
No
I
politics,
just said.
please. Thank you.
cult
No
members were
pol-pol.
destined to survive. In order to support its militarization program in Japan, Aum Shinrikiyo ended up building state-of-the-art national and international procurement networks. The group
Jesus.
built a stronghold close to Mount Fuji, and they had a lot of other small factories to produce special weapons and create
Jesus.
a big chemical stockpile. And you guys will see just how large this is later on in the episode.
They made fucking
the group built its
bomb
biolog-
factories? That's
wild.
insane. There were a cult full of there were literally a cult full of evil scientists.
They were the OG Scientologists.
Well, I think
But,
Scientology's older than that, but okay. Scientology's from the 60s.
Is it?
This is from the 80s.
When was this?
The 80s.
Oh.
But you know, close enough.
Oh, she did say for. Oh, wait.
40 years after World War II.
Oh, it is the 80s.
I think it might
stupid at
actually be the
math.
90s. I think it might be as late as the 90s.
It could, yeah, it's like depends if you're talking about. Doesn't matter.
A cult
Does
full
not
of
matter.
mad scientists. It sounds awesome. It sounds like the coolest thing ever. I'm so sorry.
Call them the Mad
And,
Hatters.
and like true
Bam.
mad scientists, they went straight to making evil bombs and weapons. That's crazy. That's actually real. That's actually how it goes. You know, that's kind of awesome.
biological and chemical warfare program by recruiting 300 qualified and trained Japanese scientists and engineers.
300 mad scientists making super bombs. I'm so sorry. That's awesome. That's awesome.
I love this cult.
Yeah, Maru said you don't have to be a good scientist to make bombs, I assume. Yeah, but they got good scientists. That's the point. They make great bombs.
You can make functioning bombs or you can make great bombs.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that. Do not quote
Well,
me.
you'd know, wouldn't you?
I would not. No, I would not. I would not. I
Program started
would
with
not.
Seiichi Endo,
Wiz,
which was
why are you trying to
a
get me
virologist
killed?
trained at the Kyoto University. He harvested botulinum and bacterium from the Ishikarigawa Basin in Hokkaido Prefecture in 1989. Cult members cultivated the bacteria into very
Wiz has never met a pie that's had a third. What?
Third grant in a row declined. What?
What does that mean, Dispel?
Oh, a PI? Private investigator?
That still doesn't make
That's
sense.
had the third grant in a row declined. I think he's talking about
PhD?
grants in academia for PI. Isn't that like the lab leader? Like the primary in something in labs
I think
in
you're making this
STEM
up.
at university. No.
Why were so many university students going for this cult? I don't know. That's
Is
the
that
hard,
what you
right?
meant, Dispel? Wait, I need to know now.
If you went for PhD, That makes more sense.
No,
Okay.
no, do. What are you doing?
It worked.
That was cold.
Large, crude, homemade fermenters. And whether these were actually capable of maintaining the environment or temperatures required is unclear.
Wait, yeah, to be honest, right? If you are a scientist
Yeah,
and you're Japan, and
see,
they're like,
I was
hey,
right. I was
what?
right. Wiz, I was right.
What?
Principal investigator, yeah, lab leader, pretty much a cult. See, I told you. I was right.
Oh, what was I saying? Yeah. Why did so many scientists join this cult, bro? If you're a university student and they're like, "Hey, you're allowed to be an evil scientist with us, and you can make evil scientist weapons," I think most people would probably be like, "Yeah, that's awesome."
Yeah. Not me, though.
Yeah, I know. I'd be like, "That's what? There's actually probably a good like argument for like maybe bombs wasn't the only thing they were making, like gas bombs. It was probably like, we're doing other science. You could try experimental science and stuff. And just one of the things they did alongside that was like horrendous, horrible chemical weapons.
And then some other cool stuff.
I would take the job, yeah, but that's because you're from Argentina, Oscar.
Yeah, you need all the money you can get.
That's not the joke, but yeah.
If anyone's ever grown any type of bacteria, you know, depending on what it is, has to be just so, like very specific. But no efforts were made by these members to purify the resulting yellow liquid, which was a mixture of growth media and bacteria. Enormous volumes of the yellow liquid.
So they made the bacteria was like native to Japan, Suru's bacteria? That's crazy. They actually made their own chemical weapons. That's mad to me. Like, oh, my chef's touch is the bacteria and the bombs is local.
How is this not more well known?
What do you mean?
This is bad shit. What do you mean? What do you mean?
True. Very true.
Supposedly produced based on data provided by interviewed cult members. It's estimated that total production was an insane 450 metric tons. Given the challenges on faced and its crude
450 tons of biochemical weapons.
Holy, this is what I mean. Is this not more well known?
Oh my god.
What the hell?
They lost one election. They're like, okay, let's create more bombs than God.
They literally, yeah.
We're completely just bye-bye Japan. We're getting out of here.
Approach, the cult's efforts to produce botulinum neurotoxin unsurprisingly appear to have been
pretty well known. Well, Wiz and I didn't know it, so
yeah.
No.
I've never known.
Described, they put like zero effort in, guys. So mice on which the yellow liquid was tested showed no toxic effect. And one cult member reportedly slipped into a fermenting tank and nearly drowned, but subsequently showed no signs of illness. So if they were actually doing anything properly, that member definitely would not have survived. Literally going for a swim in it. So it failed, right? Well,
what if
here's where it gets really
got superpowers?
What if he became the Joker? Is that what you're saying?
Got superpowers.
No, you know how the Joker became the Joker, right?
I know how the Joker became the Joker. But what if he got superpowers?
How does the Joker become the Joker?
Didn't he fall into the container thingy in a factory?
Yeah. The Joker, Japanese Joker, was made by this cult?
No, but what if he got superpowers?
The Joker does have superpowers. He's got white skin and Joker makeup.
No, what if... I hate you.
What? That's his superpower.
I said, what if he got superpowers? You were like, what if he was a Joker? I said, no, what if
the Joker's superpower is he got Joker makeup.
But that's not a
and green hair.
No, he's got
that was his superpower. It doesn't have to be good.
No, I'm saying... I fucking hate you. Oh my god.
Hi, trans rights crab.
Hi, trans rights crab.
I'm just saying the Joker did get superpowers, and his superpowers sucked. Okay, they were green hair. And
Spider-Man, he got bit by...
Yeah, but he didn't fall in goo.
No, but oh my god.
You know? If maybe Spider-Man fell in a vat of acid, he'd also get clown powers. That's what I'm saying. The Japanese Joker's out there, and he was born in this cult.
You make my life harder.
It's just the truth.
Really stupid. So
The Joker's
remember
super
how
is he's
earlier
white?
I
I didn't
spoke
say that, did I?
of the Matsumoto attack? Well, in early
You did say
1990,
that.
the cult still continued to disseminate large volumes of the liquid from trucks that were
That's
filled
a
with
huge
crude
computer.
spray.
Hey, love you,
That's a
Mina.
huge computer.
Love you, Mina. Mina.
They used to leave too, so you can have the Bambi. Hey, Mina, we would fully have that. Look, I'm driving the truck. Beep, 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 beep.
Would you give me my own podcast?
You can have your own podcast.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go into all the trouble of all the thingies that I'm seeing.
Well,
on
then
your
you can't have
screen
your own
here. No,
podcast.
thank you. I can if you stay silent.
I don't think that's
Just do everything for me.
when I'm just here. I'll make myself like huge, and I'll just be here the whole time.
No, you wouldn't be here at all.
Sorry, continue as you were.
You would just be in the
devices,
voice chat.
And they deployed these in the vicinity of 2 U.S. naval bases: the Narita Airport,
This is your show.
the
now,
Japanese
by the way.
Diet, the Imperial Palace, and the headquarters of a rival religious group for their first major attempted terrorist attack. But no one appears to have been affected, including cult members who
Bambi,
accidentally
I want
exposed
to have a
themselves during
podcast with me. Yes, Oscar, I do want to have a podcast with you.
Get back
I
off.
would
She's already got a
see,
podcast with
everyone is
me.
for.
Oscar, get your own. Back off, man. What the hell? What the hell? First of all, he announces
With
videos
Duckbringer?
while I'm live.
No, I'm not gonna have a podcast with Duckbringer because she talks about serious stuff. I don't want to do that.
This
I
is
don't
what
have
are you talking
anything
about?
smart to
This is
say,
a
I'm
cult that
sorry.
made bombs, Bambi. This isn't serious.
Sorry.
They made the
What did
Japanese
you
Joker.
say?
What's more serious than the Japanese Joker? That's the worst kind of
You're
Joker.
so right. You're so right. I'm so sorry, Wiz. You're
You don't
so
think about the
right.
big picture here.
the
She chose,
dissemination
brother.
process.
Oscar is
All of
challenging
those
you. What are you
efforts
gonna do
went
about
unnoticed
it?
by the police. Though they got away with it, things almost went haywire when in the fall of 1990, at that time, 3 Aum leaders, they ended up being arrested for fraudulently
Aum?
purchasing land for a new
Is that
compound.
the name of the
The
cult?
police,
Yeah.
however,
It's like
at the
meditating.
time, did not realize it, but kept
Yeah, it's peace. Mm.
Om.
Bomb.
Okay, chat.
Bomb.
Let's meditate together. Boom.
Bomb. That's what they do. Japanese Joker going boom, Batman. Boom. I'm the Japanese Joker.
This is way less funny than what I'm laughing.
I need to get my stream under
Right.
control because cute worm garden plus depressing subject matter is not the vibe I want.
love you,
Stop
Doc.
having depressed people on your stream then. Stop.
Who does she have on her stream?
Depressed guys.
Like who?
I don't know.
Squid?
No, Squid's
Love
fine.
you, Squid.
Squid's fine. Squid's doing okay. Check
Squid's
out Squid.
not doing
Check out Salty
okay.
Squid streams.
Yeah.
Whee! They canceled the Wonder Woman game? No, the woke mob.
Why did they cancel the Wonder
Because
Woman
there's
game?
woke. You played as a girl in it? Yeah.
Oh, I thought because of the other kind of woke. Never mind.
What other kind of woke? Because what? Because what are you going to say? Because she's Israeli?
Yeah.
No, it's a video game. She's animated. She's 3D.
I don't need fucking know.
She's from
okay?
Themyscira. She's Greek, bro.
I don't. Okay.
chemical weapons production facilities were under construction on that land. So according to a key
Ooh.
cult member, because of those arrests, it was seen that like as a sign that the police were onto them. A raid was imminent. They had been discovered.
Quick to the
So
bombs.
Aum responded by dismantling its chemical and biological weapons facilities. And they didn't get caught for that at that time. But then for
That's
the next 2
insane.
years, things were
How
pretty
can
quiet.
you have secret bomb factories and just never have them found? How is that a thing? This is the
if
90s.
you have enough power and money to control the government,
But they didn't. They lost the election.
Sorry, to control people in the government.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
But in 1992, the cult started their bioweapon production efforts up again with, a new focus, this time on bee anthracis, which literally makes anthrax. So the material was prepared in crude drum fermenters, and no
Why
efforts
were they
were made
so
to purify
focused
the
on making
10
bombs?
to 20.
What was the? I need to know what the goal was.
What is the? Yeah.
They're like, okay,
let's go read their
bomb type
manifesto,
A
Wiz.
got.
Wiz, they probably have a manifesto, right? Let's go read it.
I got a
I'm
feeling
not
we should go
kidding.
through it. We should probably go through it. If anyone has the manifesto, dump it. Wiz watches at Wizard Walker is my username. Type at symbol Wizard Walker and then link the manifesto.
Metric tons of liquid
Manifesto.
slurry
Manifesto
produced,
pasta.
which was dispersed using a homemade sprayer. First from the roof of a
With
cult building
lemons.
located in a
Damn,
residential
now I
Holy
neighborhood,
fuck.
and later from a
Poured
modified
anthrax
truck.
into a smoke
They really
machine.
used a lot of those modified trucks to spread their
Oh my god.
quote unquote bioweapons. I mean, they would be bioweapons if they worked, Anyway, in the former
Oscar
case,
is
some
saying
birds
do
and
not
neighborhood
read a cult manifesto on stream.
Oh, but we can read Smug Psychic Warblog. Last stream, all we did was read cult manifestos. Were you not there for that, Oscar?
I wasn't there.
pets were
They
apparently
didn't
killed,
even infiltrate
whether by
like
the
Scientology. They were
substance
pretty
released
lazy,
remains
honestly.
unclear.
They made tons of bombs. What do you mean they were lazy?
Yeah.
Weren't these the ones who did the anthrax attack on the subway? I don't know. I've
Spoilers,
never heard of
Oscar.
them.
Spoilers. Spoilers for real life, guys.
Are we just stupid, Wiz?
What?
Is that what it is?
The video did open
It
up with them
seems like
talking
everyone-
about anthrax attack on a subway, but you must have forgotten.
I must have not been paying attention.
It did start saying that they did a anthrax attack on a subway.
Sorry.
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you?
How
Neighbors,
dare
however, complained of the
I?
foul odor and, wow, I said that weird, the foul odor and gelatinous substance that rained down in the building's vicinity,
Ew.
leading the police to visit and gather samples. But these were not tested at all until after the 1995 sarin subway attacks, which is crazy because if they had just tested it, maybe they would have been like, hey, this isn't just harmless, Maybe there would have been something there. But anyway, after attacks failed to produce any casualties, the group began to employ crude drying devices to produce a powder, an unknown quantity of which was disseminated by truck in Tokyo.
Wait,
So,
wait,
some
okay.
neighborhood-
So they made all these bombs. There was like 300 fully qualified scientists making all these bombs, and none of them worked? Is it that hard to make chemical bombs?
I should hope so.
But they're like evil scientists. You tell me imagine the
But what if they were like failing students and bad scientists that were
I'm just
evil?
saying, Japanese Joker, American Joker could make bombs that exploded. You telling me Japanese Joker couldn't? Hamlet?
Birds may have perished from this, but it really appears that no humans were harmed as a result of any of their anthrax efforts. In fact,
Good song,
multiple cult
Oscar.
members apparently inadvertently inhaled the material produced and subsequently reported no ill effects.
Playlist that song? It's so... What song? What is he
He
doing?
didn't say playlist that song. He said play that song. I don't know what song. Maybe the
Yo-yo.
Gugu Ginga?
What is going on?
Gugu Ginga. Your nightmare flower is gonna come and say Gugu Ginga.
What gets me is that if the cult members are all not getting sick, they're not getting sick from what they're creating, it would have been a clear sign that it's not working. But
Thank you
whatever,
so
at
much
least
for that
they
video.
weren't actually killing people, I guess? Who knows? As with the other bacteria,
She
a
donated
variety of
twice.
factors appear
She
to
donated
explain
twice. The video and the donation.
The video is a much bigger contribution to the money.
She donated culture and money.
The guy with the terrible makeup and the rainbow behind him? What?
That's Japanese Joker, dude.
Aum's lack of success, including they may have been trying to produce a deadly strain of the virus from a vaccine.
F slur.
Thank you, Jotun. Oh my god. Please
did my-
never say that.
Wait, I think the TTS censored that. The TTS didn't go
Did they?
off. It didn't read it. I think that's censored by Streamlabs. That's so funny. Did you
That's
see that?
racist.
Did you?
That is racist.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Crazy.
That is insane.
The TTS has blocked that?
Oh. Did you see that, chat? Did you see that? Did you see that?
Cancelled.
Did you fucking see that?
TTS fucking. That's great. It might be okay. It might be because it's. I think this is my brain. I gotta say I don't think TTS is cancelled from the river to the sea. I think maybe the donation has to be over £5 for the TTS to activate.
Okay,
I think that's
Lonerbox.
maybe what happened. Yeah, I'm sweeping for Streamlabs. They keep the lights on.
Strain, which is really hard to do since it is so weak already. Like, if you know anything about vaccines, they're not just taking the full-on virus and sticking it in there, you know?
What?
It's pretty weak. Whatever they're putting in there is not, it's not the actual thing. So even in the unlikely event that the effort had been successful, the resulting strain might not have been sufficiently strong for production, storage, and dissemination. For what they were trying to do, they were putting a lot of faith into just
Whoa.
a vaccine strain. So when these efforts failed to produce any casualties, in 1993, the group again attempted to produce botulinum neurotoxin, and they used small quantities of material it produced to
going so
unsuccessfully
hard on the
attack individuals
neurotoxin.
and a subway station. I mean, they just kept on going, even though it was not working. But even with these failures, they were not done yet. So in Western Australia, the cult scientists were hard at work developing what were essentially bioweapons. They worked on
Whoa.
testing sarin as well as synthesizing the VX nerve agent. They also had a failed attempt at manufacturing automatic rifles, but that's
They were
not
building
as-
guns?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
They were trying to build guns. What are these guys doing for real? Are they inventing new types of guns? I know. Well, we know Japan has a long and storied culture of creating firearms for terrorist actions.
Congratulations, Bambi, for what?
Yeah, you gotta escape. Not yet, though. Not yet, though.
I'm being kept by an evil frog,
Yeah,
guys.
that's what I thought. That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Yes, thank you, Jotun. That is a perfect
Yeah, this is a great video.
video.
We're not done yet. We're still going.
here. In Western Australia, there was a cattle station, or according to some websites, a sheep farm. Either way, it
Australia
was
always
all
has
the way
a
out
thing
there,
with
where about 20
animals.
Wait, they were trying to make guns in Australia? You camel
Unsurprising.
F slur. It is blocked.
Oh my god.
No
He
way.
didn't even write C correctly.
No way. That cannot be true. I'm going to Streamlabs sentence here.
Chat,
Excuse me?
we just discovered a conspiracy.
Excuse me? That cannot be
We
real.
just uncovered a conspiracy, guys.
That is mad. Streamlabs. Okay. Streamlabs. Let's go in here.
Who's it owned by?
Because Smug can't
No,
change
just kidding.
these. I don't know who owns it. What's his name?
I'm just kidding.
What's that fucking streamer called? The handsome guy that
Who?
looks like the Ken doll.
Hassan?
No, he's too Arabic.
Basically, this what drops down like petty all those bitches scray.
What?
What?
What was that?
What? What? That was the
What
donation
was
sound.
that?
What the fuck? What the
No, but what
fuck's
did she
going on?
say?
From the river to the sea, that runs down like P.
Oscar is losing his mind.
What is going
Trying to lose
on?
yet another possible sponsorship.
What the fuck happened there? What happened there? Oh my god, that's so strange. It didn't like that. It did not like that. Guys, stop bullying Streamlabs. Please, please stop bullying Streamlabs. Guys, did you get the Emerald Dono Asian voice? No, it's an Italian voice for Ladybug. It's Ladybug's reading them out. She's employed.
5 members of the cult moved in 1993. Australian Customs
Noah
was actually
Samson?
alerted to their arrival.
No, he's what's his name?
Just Google it.
He's
I'll
the
Google it.
blonde one. He spoke to Susan Wojcicki.
Who owns Streamlabs?
What was his name? Wolf? Something?
Who is Streamlabs? It's just telling me Logitech, but I want
Like he's
person.
like a boring guy that keeps getting accused for sweeping for Hassan. He's like a normal looking guy. Ludwig! Yes! That's who I thought
Who the
owned
fuck is
it.
Ludwig?
He's like a big guy, a big streamer guy.
Ludwig, let's see. He wrote Ludwig. It was just like Beethoven. Ludwig Ogren. Shopify.
What?
Sorry, I'm just reading.
What are you saying?
Wait.
We do not use the
Streamlabs.
default Arabic voice, Oscar. It's an Italian voice. We
stopped
used
using
to
Arabic
use
voice
an
a while
Afrikaans
ago.
voice, and then we switched to Italian to make it more understandable.
No, you had an Arabic voice at one point too.
No, it's Afrikaans.
No, you had an Arabic
Afrikaans.
voice. I remember.
She was speaking Afrikaans.
You are exhausting.
There was no Arabic voice.
There
Did the
was.
Creator Boxing charity event? What?
What?
It's an Italian lady, but before that it was Afrikaans.
Due to the large amounts of luggage that they brought with them, which included things like generators, ditch diggers, gas masks, lab
Whoa.
equipment, and
Whoa.
chemicals,
Oh my
with the
God.
chemical being hydrochloric acid that was transported in large glass bottles that they labeled
Oscar, it was
hand soap.
Arabic.
So the more I
Wiz
researched
is-
about this,
Wiz
the more I
is
realized this is
gaslighting
definitely
you.
only something that could have happened in the 90s, because what do you mean they're letting you into the country with mislabeled chemicals? Airport security literally threw out my cough syrup. So like they don't care. But either way, 2 cult members were arrested and charged with carrying dangerous goods on an aircraft, and they were fined $2,400 each, and customs did seize some of their equipment and chemicals. So obviously there were some consequences. This small setback didn't stop them though, and the cult bought the farm called Banjawarn. It was in an
Nice.
isolated location on the edge of the Great Sandy Desert, and it was also the location
What were
of
they
a
doing in
still
Australia,
unexplained
bro?
explosion that rocked the entire region on May 28th, 1993. So this
Unexplained? Unexplained explosion? No, I'm pretty sure I can explain it. I don't know about you.
There was
Can
an
you explain
unexplained
it?
explosion here a few days ago.
I don't think your explosions were unexplained either. Oh dear.
explosion actually measured a 3.6 on the Richter scale and was thought to be a small earthquake. But it did have many people believing that they were either mining for uranium or developing nuclear weapons.
Oh my
what we
God.
do have confirmed, though, is that Banjawarn was used to test and make
They were doing
sarin.
settler
Traces of
colonialism
sarin were found in the dead bodies
in
of
the Australian desert. That already happened, bro. That already. They were 100 years too late. No politics, please, guys. Guys, no politics, please.
Wiz laughs.
24 sheep on the
politics, and then
property,
he's like,
as well as
"No
on the soil
politics."
on the property. And that then brings us to the first successful...
Are you sending me memes while we're streaming? I can't even show this. What is this?
I don't even remember what
There's
I
a
know I
picture of a
just sent
frog
it, but
on
I
a
don't even-
keyboard?
Yeah, that's you.
That's so rude.
attacks that used
Is it
this
not
siren.
you?
Aum Shinrikiyo
Huh?
began its public campaign of terror
Is it
on
not
June
you?
27,
Is
1990.
what not me? Frog on a keyboard? That is me.
The frog. No, he works so hard.
I'm a hard worker. Tap, 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 tap,
Yeah,
tap.
why did you
So I
say it
can't
was
see my hands
rude?
because I'm furiously typing.
And I'm just going to
Okay.
briefly go over this attack because this is the
Yeah,
attack
mining
that
uranium sounds like a step up from the anthrax smoke machines. Just slightly. Only slightly, though. Step 1, buy a smoke machine. Step 2, put anthrax in it. Step 3, don't kill anyone. Step 4, mine for uranium. It's all classic cult moves. Classic cult moves.
we spoke of earlier in Matsumoto. So it was a city of 300,000 people where a group of cult members, they drove
Mina's in
converted
the waiting room,
refrigerator
let her
trucks
in.
into a residential
Oh my god. Where's Mina?
Got this.
Is
Fuck
this
it.
about the time they put a bomb in some trash can in Japan, and that's why there's no trash cans in Tokyo?
Is that true?
Maybe. Probably.
They were like, the issue is the trash cans, not the people putting bombs in them.
Yeah, they just didn't want like IEDs and trash cans.
What happened? What do they do with rubbish now? Do they just drop it at their arse?
Imagine they ban schools in the US.
Surely having piles of rubbish is a lot easier to put bombs in. What? Is that? Oh my god. I feel like they very much half-baked the solution to that. I'm not impressed.
behind a stand
Yeah,
of tree.
it's like also like really frowned upon to like litter in Japan, so they just like I don't know when
Good.
they
Yeah.
have
Wait.
something.
They
I
just
think
keep
there's,
it in
like,
their
trash
hands.
cans around like the vending machines. Like that's like the only way you can throw something away.
Are you implying
God.
that they got rid of the bins not because someone put a bomb in them, it's because someone threw the bomb away? Is
No, it was like a terrorist attack or something like that.
yeah.
Rue soon Bambi. What does that mean, the
Rus-
spell? Every time
Rusoon?
every time this spell talks to me, I don't know what he's saying.
You just keep it on your person until you
What
find
is-
a trash can, but there's never any, so you just have like whole big backpacks of trash. That's crazy.
Do they have trash cans at home?
Yeah, I mean, yes.
No, because people can't be trusted not to bomb their own
Imagine you
house.
like go outside
Imagine it, they're like banned.
and you don't have any have any pockets and you don't have a bag, so you have to like hold it in your hand.
You gotta
I've
keep your
been
mouth closed the
there.
whole time.
The nerve agent, it floated toward a cluster of private homes and a mid-rise apartment building, townhomes, and small dormitory.
That's
But
so
this
rude.
was just the prelude. The main event began almost 8 months later on March 20th, 1995. Fingerprint evidence for an Aum member linked to an earlier kidnapping. In addition to the siren, contaminated soil samples caused the police to set a raid date for March 22nd.
What is her accent?
Asahara was made aware of the
I don't really know, because she keeps slipping into like a posh English
Yeah.
accent.
It's just
Realized that I had
indiscernible.
I just realized that I had the Discord stream muted. I was like,
This is me every time Wiz streams it. I'm like, why can't I hear anything? Love you, Wiz.
Shilto just DM'd. Do you want me to hop on and talk about the technical aspects of
No.
making guns?
No.
I'm so sorry.
Do not.
Our channel would get
No.
shut down forever.
Shiltoad.
Forever.
Very. This is
And I
very
fully believe that you
hardcore
know that, and I
for
fully believe it'd be
Shiltoad so
interesting,
far,
but we would be decimated by YouTube if you did that.
You're already demonetized. Do you think you would be? Do you think talking about how to make a gun is worse than playing Hamas propaganda
Whoa,
videos and having a
whoa.
Hamas headband?
Whoa. That never
Sorry.
happened. That never happened. That never happened.
impending
I
raid.
think talking about how cults make guns probably is worse.
Ah, okay.
Probably is slightly worse. I don't know actually. We're trying to beat the cult allegations.
And I
with
am
this stream.
trying to change that. What is that? I'm so
Oscar just being still trying to give YouTube
I'm
fire.
sorry, Oscar. I'm sorry, Oscar. I'm
What is
sorry,
Olive sent me?
Oscar.
Olive might have sent me.
Yeah, she
an
said
absolute gem.
she's gonna send a video, but
Yeah, I think you'll like this.
Can I
Bambi.
see what it is?
By 2 cult members.
It's called.
Can you send inside chat?
It's called Paranormal Home Inspectors Episode 3 Conroy.
Oh my god, yes. Yes. We're watching that.
Nice.
Inside the Japan
Okay,
self-defense
Oscar is
forces.
losing his mind.
Remember
in
when I
the
said they were
chat.
well connected? They were well connected. So, Asahara ordered an attack on Tokyo's subway lines close to the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department, possibly as a desperate attack to initiate the apocalypse. Due to rushing and poor quality controls,
Ooh.
the siren produced, however, was of a lower
Wiz.
quality.
Oscar is losing his mind in chat.
Hey, Oscar, I've said we're not doing that. We're not.
Oscar, make a cup of tea, a cup of choco.
Don't be
and,
making anything on stream,
just
please.
chill.
Don't be making anything live on stream.
And caused the normally colorless siren to appear brown. Later,
Ooh.
forensic analysis found that the siren used in the attack was roughly half as pure as that used in the Matsumoto attack. So they started production, like they started rushing their production. So
Okay.
30 kilograms, which is about 66 pounds of the chemical, was manufactured and
Jesus.
stored in a large container from which it was distributed into plastic bags. Then, 5 Aum Shinrikiyo members boarded subway cars on 3 different lines in central
Oscar, you
Tokyo
don't
during
have
rush hour,
hot
carrying
chocolate?
plastic bags
That's sad.
filled with sarin. They punctured the bags with the sharpened tips of their umbrellas and they left them on baggage racks or the floor to seep the deadly gas into the carriages. The trains
But
were scheduled.
To what end? Why were they doing this?
See, the whole cult. How do I say that? They're like, okay, they feel too organized and just not organized at all at the same time.
With it, they're
Or
supposed to be
maybe
full of
not
like
organized
super
is not the
genius
right
university
word. Maybe
graduate
it's more like
scientists.
they're really, really organized and disciplined, but they're really incompetent too.
I
You
just
say
don't
that,
understand why.
but then you just look at the United States.
This is true.
Well, yeah, basically.
But I just don't understand why are they targeting trains full of passengers? Like why? You
I
know?
mean, why did they want to take over the government?
But why does attacking trains give them control over the government?
They're insane.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's actually well made.
To arrive at central Kasumigaseki station within 4 minutes of each other, and the cult hoped not only to kill everyone on board, but also to use the trains to deliver the gas to a massive interchange used by thousands of passengers at a time. And
Ooh.
I don't know if you've ever been to Japan, but during rush hour, there's so many trains,
It's
crazy.
there's so many people. That could have been pretty bad.
Have you been to
way
Japan,
worse than it
Wiz?
was.
No, my brother did, and he brought. What did he bring me back?
Can you ask them?
I didn't
them
ask.
if they have trash cans in Tokyo.
Yeah, I'll message my brother actually. Give me a second. I just sent him a message. Did they have bins?
Oscar, what makes you think I'm okay to supervise
Yeah.
anyone?
You went to Japan asking for
I mean,
stream.
considering what your job is.
Whoa,
What is my job?
making bins.
I mean, don't you teach?
Yeah, no. I don't teach, no. No, I actually don't teach. I just grade papers.
That's awesome.
But you can't say
No, it's not. I fucking hate it.
anymore. You did teach once.
I gave one lecture because my professor
Bambi
had to
teaches me
have
something new
surgery.
every day. Thank you, Bambi.
It's love.
Oh no, it's not.
Mwah.
Okay, never mind.
Unfortunately, however, mistakes
this is
made
how
in
you deter
developing the
guys.
sarin and its delivery method meant that the attack was far less effective than intended. And the group only succeeded in killing 12 and injuring 5,500 people. And, another victim.
Only, yeah.
Only they could have gone so
Only.
hard.
Rookie numbers. Rookie numbers. And they call themselves a cult of insane scientists. They only
don't.
only hurt a couple thousand people. Great.
Tim died later on. So, according to a report, chemical weapons experts estimate that tens of thousands could have easily been killed if the attack had been carried out correctly. The attack evidently backfired, and instead of distracting police, though, they would instead conduct huge simultaneous raids on cult compounds across the country. Over the next
Embo
week,
got
the
a
full scale of
girlfriend?
Aum's activities.
What?
Congrats, Embo.
Well, your girlfriend got bullied? Congrats, Ambo.
I'm talking about the getting a girlfriend part.
Oh, sorry.
Were revealed for the first time to the Japanese people. At the cult's headquarters, police
Like the
found
difference between me
explosives.
and Oscar, bro. I'm so holy shit, dude, bro. I'm so sorry for her. Love you, Oscar.
My bad,
Love you,
Embo.
Embo.
Chemical weapons,
Sorry, Amber, I didn't mean to.
and a Russian Mi-17 military helicopter. Along with this, there were stockpiles of chemicals that could be used for producing enough sarin to kill 4 million people. Police
Jesus.
also found laboratories to manufacture drugs such as LSD, methamphetamine, and a crude form of truth serum.
Why were they making meth?
I mean,
I take meth
just
every
wanna
day,
have a
so
funny little time, yeah.
They're like, oh, we're gonna gas people all across the country. Might as well.
we're
be
gonna make
fucking-
our own ADHD
our
meds.
Yeah, our bomb attacks keep failing because we're so distracted by our ADHD. Let's also make meth so we
Literally,
can focus on making good bombs.
we keep forgetting where we put the bombs.
That's so crazy. I think it must have just been the case that like the lure is you're a scientist that can make anything, and most scientists are like, yeah, I really want to make meth. Like most chemists are just like, yeah, that'd be cool. You know? Why were they making anything except
Wait.
meth? Good point.
Wait, did I put this chemical in there or not? Maybe I should put
Oh,
another
maybe
dose.
that's why they weren't as effective.
Yeah, they were too distracted.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry, am I shooting this gun or reloading it? You know, like
Am I directing it at me or someone else?
Oh dear.
Safe containing millions of US dollars in cash and gold, and cells, with many of these cells still containing prisoners. Which makes you
Prisoners?
think,
Why do they have prisoners?
Why did they do anything?
I just really don't understand. How is any of this
Please,
start
you
World
keep
War III?
asking why. Just stop
I've just never heard of
asking
a
why.
meth lab that also makes bombs and takes prisoners.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
I mean, I've never seen a meth lab that also makes bombs that also takes prisoners.
No, I heard you the first time.
Ah,
Sweet
Were these, like-
man-made horror beyond my comprehension.
yeah.
Yeah.
For emphasis on man-made because it doesn't work.
Yeah.
cult members who were trying to leave? Were these just like enemies of the cult? And how did no one notice they were missing? Or did people know they were missing and then just they were imprisoned by the cult? This is wild. So during the raids, Aum issued statements claiming
Haven't
that the
seen any good
chemicals were
meth
for
labs there.
fertilizer.
True.
Over the next 6 weeks, over 150 cult members were arrested for a variety of offenses. But arrests of the most senior members on the charge of the subway gassing hadn't yet even taken place. Asahara was finally found hiding within a wall
I
of
totally
a cult
don't have a
building on
meth
the
prison
16th
dungeon
of
in my
May,
basement.
and
Me
he was
too, bro.
arrested. On the same day, the cult mailed a parcel bomb to the office of Yukio Aoshima, the governor of Tokyo, blowing off the fingers of his secretary's hand.
Yu-Gi-Oh?
What?
Asahara was initially charged with 23 counts of murder and 16 other offenses. The trial was dubbed the trial of the century by the press, and it ruled Asahara guilty of masterminding the attack and sentenced him to death. The indictment was appealed unsuccessfully, and a number of senior members accused of participation,
Jesus.
they also received death sentences. On the 10th of October 1995, Aum Shinrikiyo was ordered stripped of its official status as a religious legal entity and was declared bankrupt in early 1996. However, the group would actually continue to
What was
operate
the
under the
religion?
constitutional guarantee of
What? Of the... Got the...
What did they say they were?
Give me a
Did
second.
I forget? Did we know this? Was this said?
Let me see it. I'll just read a thing from Oxford Academic. Okay. Introduction, please. Acknowledgement.
Have you guys noticed that
I mean,
we
they're
reached
probably
our
just a
goal and I'm
church,
still
no?
flipped on my back?
Yeah, you're never
Rude.
getting out.
Bitch.
Copy link text. Okay, we got this. Chat GBT. Let's see. What
God.
religion was the cult? Come on.
Do you not know how to do a simple Google search?
I did, and it didn't give me the answer immediately, so I'm running to AI.
Oh my god, what is the cult named?
Aum Shinrikiyo.
I think they're called Aum Shinrikiyo or some shit like that.
Okay, so it was its own thing. It combined elements of Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, and apocalyptic prophecy. So it was its own little mixed bag.
This sounds like a I forgot what I was gonna say, sorry.
Furry affirming religion? Yeah, true. They're all furries.
This happens a lot. Anyway.
freedom of religion, funded by a successful computer business and donations, and under strict surveillance. Of course, they
Wow.
could not let them just continue on
This
without
is your
keeping
stream.
an eye on them. Attempts
Oh
to
my God.
ban the group altogether under the 1952 Subversive Activities Prevention Law were rejected by the Public Security Examination Commission in January of 1997.
My
The
God.
cult changed quite a bit in the aftermath of Asahara's arrest and trial. For a brief time, Asahara's two preteen sons officially replaced him as guru, which, yeah,
Jesus.
we know the best leaders are preteen boys. It was reformed under the new name Aleph in February 2000, after it announced a change in religious doctrine. So texts related to controversial issues were removed, and the group apologized to the victims of the sarin gas attack and
We're so
established
sorry
a
we made all those
special
bombs.
compensation fund. Publications and activities that alarmed, in other words, scared the shit out of and terrorized.
How was it not instantly disbanded? You know?
I mean,
Good question.
freedom to practice religion, you know, if they don't do any bullshit anymore, I'm guessing they can just like do whatever they want.
Yeah, I
Well,
suppose
but
if all
they-
the leaders got the death penalty and none of them are left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't do anything criminal, then what are they supposed to do about it?
But the point was, I thought they get disbanded because they did something criminal.
Because yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay, but that doesn't mean that the entire people that are in the cult
Yeah.
are implicated in everything.
Yeah. That's true.
I guess.
Weird.
society.
Freedom
are
of
no longer
religion, bro.
published.
Is there
Ultimately,
freedom
on
of religion
July
in
6,
Japan?
2018,
Probably.
Asahara and 6 other
There's a lot
Aum
of religions in Japan, so I imagine so.
Yeah, but is
Shinrikyo
there
members.
like a written law about freedom of religion?
I think so. Like, genuinely, because there's so many religions in Japan.
Fair.
were executed by hanging. Japan's Justice Minister
Oh, they
Yoko
hung them?
Kamikawa would go on to state that the crimes, quote, plunged people not only in Japan but in other countries as well into deadly fear and shook society to its core. So ended the crazy murder doomsday cult of Aum Shinrikyo. Aleph is still around, but it is a shadow of its former self,
She's
and it's
listening to
regularly
anime.
monitored by police. But yeah, that's the end, everyone. I hope that answered your question. Go from like cute little religious organization. The thing is, people had no clue. They had absolutely no clue. They just thought, oh, they're a little strange doomsday cult, and then boom. They were carrying out attacks and people didn't even suspect them. That's wild. But thank you for listening, and let me know what you would like to hear next.
Jesus
Goodbye,
Christ.
everyone. Hope you have a good rest of your day. According to Stakuya, I just ripped off his ending. Bye.
Whoa. That's pretty intense, wasn't it?
I
Yeah.
can't believe Japan had ISIS.
Yeah. Japanese ISIS. Japanese ISIS, bro. Like, just the idea that it was just a bunch of evil mad scientists failing to make bombs. That's crazy. And they were like, yeah, let's also make guns. Oops. Don't know how to do that either. You know?